Okay, so we're back in the shed, and I got good news and the bad news. The bad news, ended up with this. So we picked, like I say, we picked this up a couple weeks ago off the neighbor, and it was running pretty good. Um, Actually, you saw a video running the boat. The only thing I did to it, I rebuilt the fuel pump, and carburetor kit and all that. The carburetor's here. Put a new carburetor kit. I says I had it apart. But it seemed that it was getting worse and worse and harder to start, harder to start. So I went back to the basics. I checked for spark. I had good spark. Had a fuel pump that was working. Carburetor was like rebuilt. Everything's working. Even if I primed the bulb, it was still staying hard, but I couldn't. It would sputter and hard to start and backfire. And the bottom cylinder was got a funky black sludge, not sludge, but just oily. I did have a problem with the head gasket because I was having really bad sludge coming out of the exhaust here. So the head gasket was pooched. So I put a new head gasket on it. It was like $16. Wasn't the end of the world. So we did find the problem. So I looked inside the cylinders. Everything's nice and clean. There's no scoring. Rings are free. Good compression. So, oh my God. So the only other thing I could think is the reed. So if you look at this, I'm trying to see if I can show you guys. You can look through the light. You could see, I don't know if you could see, but anyways, it's hard to tell. But there's a gap in there. The bottom one, it's hard to tell. If I went like this, I could see it there. There, you see a light there. You can see the reed right there. And this one is closed. This one's open. You see the lead. So the reed is not working. And that's where I had, this was placed like this. Reed was staying open, and I had problems with that cylinder. Kind of broke my heart because the motor's in good shape. The body, man, this ship's good. It doesn't all that. But I think what I'm going to do, you can't buy these reeds anymore. So I'm just going to take the reed. I'm going to flip it upside down and clean it and hope for the best. Because I think that was my issue. I had a little bit of struggle there. Like I say, I did everything I had to do. I had compression, gas, and everything. It should have ran, but it seemed like it was getting worse and worse with time. And harder to start. I couldn't even start the darn thing. But anyways, not a big deal really. It was pretty easy to take out. You only have 6 bolts here. Got the 6 bolts. You have the one here, one there. That's it. And like I say, you have 3 points. 1, 2, and 3 there. Not a big deal. So anyways, that's the issue with that. Fall is coming, so I'm not going to really go nuts and try to get this running for summer. No rush. Maybe if I have time. But yeah, reeds. That's all it takes is one bad reed, and you have a little bit of frustration here. But the motor, physically, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. It looks good. That inside, there's no, like I say, no scoring. Everything is good in there. So anyways, it's another little project. Like I say, I'm going to clean it all up. Hopefully get it going, because I don't want to throw this thing in the dump or nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. I hate to keep it like it's all painted up and looks good and all that. So anyways, when you have problems with motors, you always check the reeds. I didn't want to tear it down that far. I did everything else I could. But anyways, that's the issue with this one. We're going to work on it slowly, and hopefully you enjoy my videos. And we'll hopefully get this running like a top eventually. But anyways, 73 is 108 Ontario, and we're going to get this thing running again. We're gone. Have a nice day, guys.